And welcome to Walk the Plank, week 9 of our podcast that takes a deep dive into the week that was and the events that are coming up for the next week or so here in the Perry Athletic Department. Thanks for being here and joining the show. I'm joined by Gene Winters, my co-host. Thanks for being here, Gene.
Yeah, another exciting week. A lot of regionals and teams on to districts now, so it's another exciting week for Walk the Plank.
Yeah, it's we'll get into a lot of it. We have a lot of information to cover today. We have a lot of seeing 2 of our athletes of the week here with us. We actually have 4 athletes of the week this week. We've got a lot of success going on right now, and so that's a great thing. So we're going to be happy to highlight a lot of things today on the podcast. So we're going to get it hopefully done here in the next hour. But we're going to start things out with Hunter Klein and Kate Farrell. They are both members of our cross-country team. Both of these runners here today have qualified for the regional tournament down at Youngstown Boardman. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Under a little bit different circumstances, Kate, you were part of the girls' team that qualified as a team. So there's different things, not to confuse people on how the state does it, because after last week, they're probably going to have to look at some things. Coach Thomas, we'll talk about that in a little bit, on exactly how many teams, not so much in our division, but in the other divisions on how many they had qualifying. But you have teams that can qualify where all 7 runners will move on to the next level, and then if your team does not qualify, they'll take some individuals. So, Kate, you were part of the regional qualifying team. So let's just start about talking about the race from last week over at Madison. What were some of your goals personally, and some of the team goals coming into that race last Saturday afternoon? Beautiful day, by the way, about 80 degrees over at Madison on Saturday. What were some of those goals coming in for you guys?
Me and a lot of the other girls really wanted to qualify for regional. It was a big goal of all of ours. I was trying to ladder up on people throughout the race and just keep catching the next girl throughout the race, and that was my goal, just to qualify.
And I guess same thing for you, Hunter. Obviously, with the guys, you're one of 3 that advanced on to the regionals coming up this weekend. So how was districts for you, and what were you looking to knock out last week?
Really, we kind of all discussed it, like what we needed to do to make it there as a team. We came just shy. I think it was like 18 people, like jump-wise. I kind of wanted to get sub-18. I was right there for the second time at that course at an 18:12, almost there. But I don't know. It's my first year in cross. I made it to regionals. I'm pretty happy about it.
I was going to say, and for both of you, is there an advantage of running a course that you were familiar with? You guys just ran at Madison a couple weeks ago. Was there anything that you may have learned 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that helped you this past weekend?
Yeah, definitely. There were parts of the course that are harder than others, so I knew where I really needed to lock in and just be ready to keep going.
And what about for you, Hunter?
I mean, kind of like what she said, like there's parts where you can use it to your advantage. Like the open field is kind of hard. It's just an open field. You don't know like how much time's going by, whatever. Like in the woods, where you can pass people the easiest, where you need to pick it up, about how far you have till the end, and it makes it like mentally easier, I'd say.
And then did both of your times improve from the first time running it in late September to last weekend?
For me, I did not. My time was not. I PR'd it the first time.
Okay.
It wasn't that far off, but it was a little hotter and.
Yeah, it was actually. Which is crazy to say, because you're like 80 degrees on October 19th, I believe, whatever the day was. Like that's probably not. It's not going to be 80 this week, is it? You know that.
No.
So, how about for you, Hunter? You said you're 18:12. What was your first time?
My first time was in 18:06. I came just shy.
Okay. So both a little bit slower, but probably I would say that might have been happening across the board too with other runners. So.
And do you guys use that now as motivation to try to up your game for this week, knowing that, hey, I might have had a down week, or how do you battle that? Because it's such a mental game where it's just you as in an individual sport.
Yeah, it definitely, not hitting the time that I wanted definitely helps me want to push to hit that time this week. And now that it's postseason, the time still matters, but it's more laddering up on people.
And then what Kate, specifically to you with the girls team and having everybody qualify, we're going to have seven runners there Saturday. What has it meant? What has this group meant to you, and the fact that you guys could do this as a team accomplishment?
It means a lot to me, knowing that we all played a part into
Yeah.
it to qualify together, and that we all worked very hard to get there.
And for you, Hunter, on the boys side, it seems like every week when we do the podcast and we're looking at the numbers that, yourself, Matthew, like you're all within seconds of each other. So how do you guys kind of motivate and push each other to, continue to succeed each week?
I mean, when you have a teammate there to push you, it's different than trying to catch up with somebody else's team. Because they're there, but mentally, when you have somebody there that like you run with every day, you know how they run, you know how you run. It kind of helps push you better because like I should be doing this better, or this person's having a really good day. This is good for them. It's going to really help out the team.
And even though you guys are teammates, you still want to pass them, right? Like, it's not-
yeah.
Okay.
You always want to do your best.
Kate, I know we talked with Coach Thomas earlier on this year on the podcast just about the makeup of this year's team on the girls' side, and graduating a couple of seniors, standout seniors from last year, and Holly and Audrey. Like, was there pressure on you to sort of fill those shoes and come out and be a leader and be one of our top runners? You've certainly done a great job, but what was sort of talked about behind the scenes, or you guys are just trying to get together as a group and do the best you can each and every week and get those PRs rolling?
Yeah, I went from last year being number 4 to being number 2 on the team, so I knew that I had to fill some spots that we were missing, and I knew we also, now that I'm a junior, we need some leadership on the team that we
Yeah.
lost, so I thought.
Right.
And for you, Hunter, you mentioned earlier, did you say this was your first year running?
Yes, it is.
So what made you get interested into cross country and getting out there running?
So I dropped football. I didn't like it for wrestling, and actually, Coach Thomas's husband, he said, you have 2 choices then. It's soccer or cross to keep me in shape for wrestling. So, there was an obvious answer for me.
And obviously you enjoyed it. So there's probably maybe a little less running in cross country than there is soccer. Was that part of the plan, or was it just?
I just don't really like soccer.
Okay.
Like in general, I've never been a big fan of it. Running sucks sometimes, but it has helped with wrestling. I've already noticed just from this 1 year, so
Okay.
maybe it should help further down the line too.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge? I know you're 10 races in, or how many ever you've ran so far. So what has been the biggest challenge for you? Is it the mental game? Is it finding a routine? Is it trying to keep pace? What's been the hardest part for you?
I'm typically like right on pace for my miles. They're typically all around the same thing. At least my first and second. I feel like mostly mentally, I kind of have to work to you gotta work past like your muscle tiredness, your muscle soreness, fatigue, all that. You kind of just have to shut everything out and just keep going and push yourself.
All right, and let's take a little peek behind the curtain, if you will, here. Like, what is a typical week for us? For those who don't know, a high school cross-country race is 3 miles. What are we running 3 miles? I know the answer to this, but maybe not everybody. Are we running 3 miles every single day? What is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even a Friday look like with you guys as far as practices go? Are you out there? Are you running 30 miles a day? Like, what are you guys doing each week to get ready for Saturday's race?
Our Monday and Wednesdays consist of like workouts, so like
Or long
faster
runs.
pace, or long runs, faster pace, less time, less mileage.
Yeah.
And then our Tuesday, Thursday are just like recovery runs, get your body like healed up. Those are like 45-minute runs on average for our
Okay.
team. And then Friday's just pre-meet, a good stretch, ice bath, 20-minute run.
Yeah.
On Fridays, actually our team splits up a lot because some of us have band and
Yeah.
stuff in the afternoon,
That
so
too.
some of us will get up at 5 and
I
do
know.
it
I
in the
see you guys here in the
and
morning sometimes on
some
Friday.
of us
I'm
will
like,
do
wow.
it after school, so
Okay. And that Friday is just like you're gonna run, your hardest, the very next day. So it's just a lot of whether is anything in the pool or just trying to get some sort of workout in to get, but saving your energy and saving your body for that big race the next day.
yeah.
Okay.
And maybe this is more a question for Coach, and we'll ask her when she comes up, but
Mm-hmm.
is there this course that you guys are going to run, and you may have seen it, the Boardman course. Is there any course that you guys have ran that's similar this year to that, what you're going to see on Saturday?
Ashland, our overnight meet, yes.
Is that the hill?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
it
the
had
hill.
some pretty big hills. Regional course has some pretty big hills on it, so
Yeah.
that definitely got us ready for this.
And then for you, when did you get interested, or when did you start cross country, and how did this evolve into something that you enjoy?
I joined cross country in 7th grade. My older sister, I wasn't going to do any sports, and she was like, oh, you should join. So I was like, why not? And I've just kind of stuck with it since, and it's become something I really like to do.
All right, tell us a little bit about Coach Thomas and Coach Martin. How are they for you guys as coaches, and are they work you too hard here or what? You can let it all out. It's all right.
No, I love them as my coach. They've been really good coaches. They're always there for us when we need them. They understand us very well, and they've created a really great environment where it's like fun. We put in the work, and it's a really good place to
That's
be
awesome.
with them. So.
All right, guys. Well, I will tell you what you get. I don't know if you're going to be able to use these this week, but
Thank you.
our meal deal here from Dairy Queen, they are our sponsor of our Athlete of the Week program. You get your meal deal, you get a Blizzard. Hunter, I know you're going to have to do that before wrestling starts, so
Yeah.
at least make sure you find maybe a Monday or a Sunday after the race to get to use those. But thank you to Perry DQ for all of their support, guys. Before we get you out of here. One last question for me. What are some of our goals here this weekend at the regional meet? Boardman High School, like you said, it's a challenging course. Weather could be an issue with it's going to be a little bit wet and colder. Not necessarily the cold won't be a bad thing. What are we looking for? Some personal goals for this Saturday at Boardman.
I'm just trying to, since this course is harder, I
Yeah.
know there's a chance I may not PR, but I'm trying to run a consistent time and just finish it out, the season out
Okay.
really strong.
Great.
I'm gonna try to kind of reference off Geneva,
Yeah.
because I mean that's got a pretty big hill, not as serious as Boardman from what I've heard,
Okay.
but kind of try to stay in a lower time and possibly place, hopefully make it to states and be cool.
All right, well, I lied. One last question. One more last question. Both of you guys will do other sports for us. What are you going to do in the off season to get ready for cross country? Like Hunter, you're going to wrestle. What weight are you going to wrestle at? Do you know yet?
120.
120 this year. How are things looking there?
It's not bad yet.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly low,
Okay.
lower than I thought I was gonna be.
Okay.
Because I was gonna bulk to 44, and then things kind of got switched around at first. So.
Okay. And then Kate, what else are you going to do? You running track in the spring? Anything else?
Yeah, I'll be running indoor track.
Indoor
and then
track
outdoor
and outdoor
Yeah.
track as well. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time.
No, I was going to ask about wrestling, so
Yeah.
You knocked it out, so that's perfect.
All right, before we get you guys out of here, just a little couple of get-to-know-you questions. We'll start with Hunter at the end. We ask this every week of all of our athletes of the week. Hunter, what is your favorite food?
Chicken, probably.
Chicken, okay. Any place you like homemade, or you a
Homemade.
restaurant, homemade chicken? All right, favorite subject in school?
I mean, it's not really a subject, but
Yeah.
strength
Strength
and
fitness.
conditioning.
Coach Christian does good work down there, I'm sure. It's I've been very apparent throughout a lot of our successes here athletically, so thank you to Coach Christinger. Favorite movie or television show, series, anything along those lines?
Anything like comedy or horror, probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Any hobbies? You're into the wrestling scene. You're into cross. What? Any hobbies away from athletics here at Perry High School?
Riding.
Riding.
Like dirt bikes,
Dirt bikes.
quads.
Okay. All right. Be careful doing that. Favorite app or phone or game? Sorry. Favorite app or game on your phone?
Snap. I use it to communicate a lot.
Okay. Fair enough. Favorite memory so far from Perry, and this can be. Anything. It can be athletically. It can be the Washington D.C. trip. It can be whatever you've experienced throughout your time here at Perry. What are you taking away so far?
Going to states for wrestling.
Okay.
That was pretty
Fun experience, right? I'm sure the goal is to get back there again and do some more damage down in Columbus. Hunter, visit any place in the world. Money's not an object. Where do you think you would go?
Italy.
Italy. All right, very good. All right, on to Kate. Here we go, Kate. Favorite food?
Probably cheese ravioli.
Cheese ravioli. Is it all homemade, or you like an Italian restaurant for that?
Any of them.
Any cheese ravioli. It's a good pregame meal, right, Coach Thomas? We should probably look that up for Thursday or Friday. Favorite subject in school, Kate?
Any history class.
Okay, great. Coach Martin will like that. Favorite movie or television show series?
I really like watching Gilmore Girls.
Okay. The Blast from the Past, right? That was like early 2000s? Yeah, okay. Hobby away from any of the things you do here at Perry?
I really enjoy music.
Okay, awesome. Favorite app or game on your phone?
Probably Instagram.
Okay. Classic.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Mr. Winter's is looking for new games to play, but we'll find some for him.
Yes.
Favorite memory so far, Kate, from anything Perry related?
I really enjoyed the Disney trip this past spring break.
Well, for band.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
That was fun.
And visit any place in the world, money's not an object, where are you heading?
Mine probably also would be Italy.
Okay, good deal. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Congratulations on being our Athletes of the
Thank you.
Week. Congratulations on being regional qualifiers. It is not something that doesn't happen without a ton of work. So all the time and efforts you guys have put in have really gotten you to this goal and accomplished that goal. So congratulations and best of luck on Saturday. We will see you out at Boardman.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have you exit stage left there. We'll just swap places with Coach Thomas and bring her on up here. As we've mentioned, our girls team qualified as an entire team of 7, and we've got 3 boys going down as well with, either one, Coach.
I'll
Doesn't
sit
matter.
next to you.
Either way, I won't bite you. Landon Rusnak, Hunter Klein, Matthew Viss on the boys'
Yes,
side as
yes.
individuals go. So let's just sort of go back to last Saturday. We're at Madison High School. What were some of your thoughts going into that race? Knowing, again, like we talked about with the athletes, it was a hot day, 80 degrees plus around race time. What were some of your goals as a coach for that day?
Well, I wanted them to just actually perform to their ability.
Yeah.
Actually, that was number one.
Yeah.
And then where the chips may fall from there, they did very well for that day. They got out. Districts is funny because you go out a little harder.
Yeah.
You're more nervous, and you're nervous for days as opposed to just like maybe 20 minutes before the race.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more energy spent. So it all comes down to that 3rd mile. So if the boys, on the boys' side, if we were there on the 3rd mile, I thought, at least with our big 3 in the front.
Yeah.
So we have 2 packs on the boys' side and our 3 in the front. I thought they had a chance to make it, especially Hunter and Landon. And Matthew was a little bit of a surprise, but he had a great race. So he kept himself in it that whole time. That's a boys' side. Do you want to know about the girls?
Yeah, let's go to the girls. As a team, again, we get down to the regional level. It seems like every year we're making that drive down Route 11 over to Boardman High School. So, yeah, let's talk about the girls.
Yes. Well, speaking of Boardman first,
Yeah.
they've all, like Kate, you've run there 3 times, 4 times, 2 times your freshman year.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of experience there.
Uh-huh.
The course is actually really, I like it. No,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the teams, I think Kate likes it as well. It's a good course for Kate, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her this Saturday. But as far as Boardman goes, it should be in good shape.
Yeah.
Madison, that course is fantastic.
Yeah.
It flies. They know the course really well. They know each turn pretty well. Not Hunter less than, and our freshmen less than the 3 upperclassmen on
Sure.
the other side. But the girls were just ready to go.
Yeah.
They were mentally ready to go. We didn't have to talk to them that much. They were nervous, but they used it to their benefit. And they got out in the 1st mile and held on strong. The last 3 meets, the girls have raced so well in the 2nd mile, and it just held on strong in
Right.
that last mile. I would say all 7 of them that ran on Saturday.
Awesome.
And the boys too. I've been really impressed with how competitive and just getting uncomfortable and being comfortable with that. You feel gross. If you watch a cross country race, the people who are racing look disgusting. They look like they're in pain and agony.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We looked fantastic, looking gross. So
Right, awesome.
they
That's
did
good.
well.
In staying at Madison, is there an advantage having a course that you're familiar with? Obviously, other teams that are coming in know the course as well, but just having run it, do you kind of take some mental notes to help the kids prepare as you go in?
It is. Oddly, with cross country, unlike track, you can run a different course every time you run on the same course. You never really run the same path. You can try to, unless you're the first runner and you know exactly where you're going every time. They do get a benefit from that. Many of the teams actually ran there at You Want to Come Back and have done it. So I'd probably say half the teams that were there. In our division especially, I think most of the teams had run there before. So we have that benefit. We don't actually train there. If we did that, we probably would be we may hate it. We never want to go there, but they're always excited to go there.
Do you change anything practice-wise leading in because you know the course so well, or is it just kind of keep your same routine?
Well, I had to change it a little bit because the conference course was pretty hard. Conference is moderately nerve-wracking too, and the hill was it was about 2.2 miles in, and I think it is worse than Boardman's Hill. I just because the slope is a little higher. Boardman's deceiving, and the worst hill is in the very beginning. It's in the first 600 meters, and then you have two hills that are pretty like 10-step hills. That Geneva one was over a minute long, and it's just at this. You turn a corner, and it's in a vile spot. Yeah. So they ran really well considering, but I had to adjust the workouts for the next week. So we actually had to go a little bit later on Monday and Tuesday so they could fly. They have to be ready to move. So it comes down. A lot of mid-distance kids or milers that come up that run cross country they fly on that course, and it's hard for the longer distance kids to go as fast because the stronger kids, not necessarily longer distance kids, the stronger kids love hills. They may not enjoy them. Right. They may never tell you that they like them, but they do better on those. Yeah. And I actually think we're a hill team, but we have some speedsters too. But we do get ready, do some faster workouts just because it's the last 3-4 weeks of our season too. So we're tapering a little bit, doing more. We do race pace all year, but more goal race pace, and then we do some all-out efforts at some point in time just to get the feel, kind of to tune up, and then some ice baths to recover a little faster. But this is a little lighter week than last week. They probably will disagree with you. Yesterday was hard, but you still have to do that just to keep them mentally sharp.
You got to get your stuff in, right? You got to get your work done and ready to go. And then as the week goes on, a little bit lighter. So the Boardman course, you've told us about that. What about some of the teams? You guys, in cross country, do we eye the competition? I know there's no scouting reports or there's no film to watch per se like in some other sports, but are you guys projecting and looking at what other teams we're going to be competing against on Saturday?
As far as us competing, there are the few that there's Marlington and Woodridge they're hands down probably the best on the girls' side and the boys' side. Yeah. They're perennial success stories.
State qualifying teams, championship teams.
They have so many kids that buy in. It's probably their best program in both of their schools, their cross country and their track programs. We're looking more in the middle. We have a lot of individuals on the boys' side, so Beechwood, there's some Conneaut kids, Lakeview kids. That's who we're probably going to be in the area on the boys' side. Landon and Hunter are in the top. They're in the top 75, 80. Yeah. I think Landon's about around 40. Okay. The times are weird because I can't figure out. Yeah. I don't know how horrible the other course or what the condition was in that. Yeah. I know Madison was fast, so it may be a little different. Yeah. But I have to look at those times. As far as those goes, those are the three teams, and it's kind of crazy because I'm used to last year still. Beechwood and Edgewood. I'm hoping they make it out. They're they have a great little team. Okay. I would eye their middle three if we can stay with them. Okay. We probably should have some success because we know them and they're with us. But the couple Beechwood kids and Edgewood. On the girls' side, same two schools at the top. Yeah. We are losing out like on CVCA. I use St. Vincent, St. Mary. They're not there. I would say them. We're looking in the middle of that, but Crestwood has been. Yeah. They were at conference. We've seen them, and a bigger meet. We're closer to them. Yeah. Also a Fairview and that and the like there too. We're not. You've got to let the big dogs go. Right. Yeah. But in the back, so for pretty much from 6 to 11, 12, we're looking at those teams right there.
So is there a number that you've been kind of preaching to the team. The one thing I've learned about doing
Mm-hmm.
this is every coach shares those numbers with the kids, and they use that as the motivation, where I thought coming in before talking to everybody that it would be kind of hidden and maybe the coaches keep it to themselves. But is there a number that you need the girls'
to
side to
qualify?
hit or the guys' side to hit?
The girls have to be in the top 6 teams. The boys have to be top 7, the top 7 teams. It's so dense though, talent-wise,
Yeah.
so it's hard. But you don't know how everybody's feeling. Teams have sickness. I've been looking on like cross-country boards, and a lot of teams are coming down from illness, and we've had our struggles in the last 3 weeks too. So numbers-wise, we got to get those on the girls' top 6. The individuals after that, you throw those 6 teams out, and then it's the next 12. So wherever they land. And then on the boys' side, it's the next 14 individuals after the 7 teams you throw out.
Right,
So
those
that
numbers
opens
are
up
so
a lot.
weird on how they come up with those and what they do. Was it, not to get off of our Division 3 race from last week, but was it true the Division 2 race last week qualified was it on the girls' side where they qualified every single runner?
That could have been.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. That would be crazy. So why did you even run the race?
Right. That's true.
That's what
yeah,
I'd be
all
asking.
qualified.
Like, if
You're
I'm
all
already going on to
good.
regionals, why
You're
am I even
good.
running?
And that could be. I
Yeah.
honestly didn't pay
But
attention.
you were
I was
focused on
paying
ours,
attention
and you
to
knew what was happening there.
in
Yes, I was.
looking at Division 3, and I was looking at Division 2 boys
Yeah.
more because I was looking at Geneva's boys. That's
Sure.
what, and Madison's boys. I was interested to see how they would do, but
Yeah.
no, I'm sure that happened.
Yeah.
It was a little odd.
Yeah. Just different
I
with the
don't-
different divisions and expanding
Yeah.
divisions, right?
Yeah.
And then now we've always been a Division 2 cross country school or Division 3 because there's more divisions that are set up by the state. So and like all sports, most team sports, we've expanded divisions. So it's just always weird how they come up with these numbers and X number of teams go and then X number of individuals.
true.
And I'm sure there's all sort of a math formula behind it. I just
Yeah,
don't know
I'm
what
su-
that is.
I'm sure someone more knowledgeable
Yeah,
than me
probably.
knows the answer to this
Yeah.
in the cross country. Jeremy Verdi,
Yeah, right,
Madison
maybe,
probably does know
right.
better than I do.
I'll
I
ask him.
don't. One thing with the numbers, I'm excited about it. Actually, I think it involves some kids they're not really ready until the last 4 weeks.
Sure.
They need a conference meet or a district
Yeah.
meet to really feel, and they don't qualify because their team doesn't qualify and they're on their bubble. Because they don't really fit a course very well, or just they were sick. So
Yeah.
I think this opens up a lot of excitement for the whole state in cross country because there's a lot of unsung heroes,
Yeah.
and they stop running because they think they can't go to
Right,
the
because
next
they
level.
can't get there. Yeah.
And I
That's a great
feel like
point.
it'll help the growth of the sport.
Yeah.
For most of all, I hope so. They will probably adjust the numbers to
Yeah.
some extent. I don't know if anybody knew how
Right.
it was going to work out.
Right.
I think everybody's timing system had a little struggle with it.
Right.
So we'll find out.
Okay.
We'll find out how it goes this Saturday.
And as a coach, knowing this course, being there the last couple of years, and maybe even before that, are you looking at weather? How does that play in as a potential factor for
So
the
it's
weekend?
been dry there. I mean, I don't think they've had more rain. Both of us have had not much rain.
No,
Like
it's been
Madison's
dry.
course was they've had as much rain as Madison. They didn't have, I guess, the conditions of the course when their big invitational that they have in the middle of September. It was fine. So I think it's in good shape. If that's in bad shape before it rains, then it tends to be gross. We've been there when it's just horrible
Yeah.
mud. It probably will be a little bit soft, so that'll slow the times down. They've smoothed out the turns a little bit, and they just as Madison does almost every day. They are working on trying to make that the smoothest course as possible. You just get over that first hill.
And do we know what times we run yet? I'm sure they've
We
posted
actually
those.
do. So the
Okay.
girls run at 11:50.
Okay.
That's Division 3.
Yeah.
And the boys 12:30.
12:30 and 11:50 on Saturday. Boardman High School, Division 3 regional race. Coach Thomas, thanks for being here.
All right.
Congratulations to our athletes of the week, Hunter and Kate, and best of luck to everybody. We'll
Thank
update
you.
everybody next week on the pod.
All right.
Thanks Coach
DJ.
Thomas.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck on Saturday. Yeah, just an exciting time. It's the finality of the season.
Yep.
You go out and you give your best effort, and if it's good enough to go on to the state level, you're on to the state level. If it's not, your season's over, and that's what just all of our teams at this point in time that are still alive are sort of dealing with that
Right.
reality right now. So,
Well, that's the point. You go back to July, end of July,
Yeah.
early August when you first started the night race at Riverside to
Yeah.
get you to this point that you're at right now.
right, and just looking to improve and looked at PR every week. And even though the courses are different and there's hills here and not hills here, you're always looking to, sort of gain that advantage and make you stronger for the next week.
Yep.
So I think obviously our individual boys who qualified and our girls as a team have done that very well. So, but similar to cross country being right there, we're going to talk about volleyball that's still alive. We're going to talk about girls soccer that's still alive as the playoffs go. So we'll bring up our 2 athletes of the week here for our girls soccer team. Come on up, ladies. We have a big match tonight. We're shooting this on a Tuesday. We have Andorra Porcello and Aaliyah Granchai. Am I saying that right?
Grandchild.
Granchai. All right, so that's good. I've been saying it that way all year on the announcement, so I'm glad I was correct. Welcome in, ladies. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on being nominated by your coach for Athlete of the Week. There's your DQ certificates. Make sure to use those at your convenience. Not today before the game, but maybe afterward or tomorrow. So we do have a big game with Elyria Catholic. Again, shooting this Tuesday afternoon. We play tonight out at Elyria Catholic. I've never been there in 25 years of doing this job, so it's about an hour and 20 minutes away. So it's a district semifinal, back-to-back years that we've played in the district semifinals. Actually, I think 3 years in a row we've been in the district semis now. We were able to be there tonight because of part of the effort of these young ladies here next to me. Let's talk a little bit about our Beechwood match from last week. We go in. Beechwood is seated higher than us. I'll set the stage here a little bit. They have 11 wins on the year. We have 5. We have a lot of ties, but they had 11 wins, 3 losses on the year. We go in, we get the win in overtime. We take a 1-0 lead. They scored early in the second half. The game goes to overtime, and the way it works in high school soccer, you have 2 15-minute periods, but it's called a golden goal, if I'm correct in that. Does that sound right? Golden goal. Can't say sudden death anymore, Mr. Winters. It's
Okay.
sudden victory, but the first team that scores essentially gets the victory and walks it off, so to speak. So Andorra had the assist to Aaliyah all the way down the field. She sprints in and gets the goal. Let's just talk a little bit about that, girls. Just that sequence of events and how fast, because it happened pretty darn fast. I looked over. The next thing I know, Andorra's got the ball, and then she's feeding it to Aaliyah. So how did it all happen? Tell us a little bit about that situation last week at Beechwood.
So we won the ball, and obviously throughout the whole game, we're trying to get to goal, and I know Aaliyah's fast. She has a lot of speed. She can beat the outside defenders. So when I saw that through ball, I just sent it in, and she took a good touch and got past the goal.
Yeah, I just knew that if I kept making those runs that eventually she would feed me the ball and
Yeah.
I could get it in.
Okay.
And as you're making that pass, are you just looking for an area to get her to, or are you trying to get it through a couple of Beechwood girls to her?
Yeah, soccer's all about angles, so when I saw the space to get the ball in behind the defenders, I took it and sent it through.
And Aaliyah, this is actually, I don't know of anybody who even has one. This is Aaliyah's second
Yep.
golden goal of her career. So as a freshman, we were playing a Niles McKinley team. We were sort of an opposite situation. We were the higher seeded team in that game. Niles McKinley came in and played us very, very well in that match, and we had to go to overtime, and Aaliyah had the game winner there as a freshman. So two times now she's had the golden goal. What's the difference between those 2 goals, Aaliyah? Would you remember the first one? I remember. I was standing right on the track. I was right there. It was in the right-hand corner of the home side, if I'm not mistaken. But is there any difference between those 2 goals in your mind?
I feel like the first one was really just like luck, kind of. Like I did not mean to score that. I meant to
Yeah.
cross that one, and this one was more.
Yeah, because it was sort of at an angle, right? Like you
Yeah.
were almost perpendicular with the
Yeah.
goal, and you had to it was a crazy angle, but it got in and won us the match.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a little bit more, I guess, what you would see in the sport of soccer, like Andorra talked about, sort of having that midfielder feed the ball down to you and get going. So what else? What was our attitude going into the Beechwood game? Obviously, we talked about that goal and what was the game winner, but what did coaches talk to you guys about what we needed to do to win that match?
I'd say just a lot of just play your own game. We've had a lot of fun this season. We play as really good as a team, so we all wanted it really bad. So we went in knowing we were going to win, and we did it.
All right.
Yep.
Was there a point of the season where maybe it kind of switched on for you guys? I know injuries played a big part of
Yeah.
this year for you guys, and a number of ties like Mr. Rockwell mentioned, but was there a game or a point this season where you guys knew if we play this way, we can make a deep run?
Well, I feel like just being in the playoffs, like obviously we want to continue like winning, but with like we just been like tying all of our games, so we know that now we have to like actually start winning these games.
And obviously ties aren't wins, but I'm sure with a team that was struggling to get wins, you come away with a tie. Go back to the Brookshire game, a game where you're playing one of the top teams in Northeast Ohio, in the state of Ohio. You tie them 3-3. Does that help, maybe reassure that everything that you guys have been doing is going the right way and you guys are going to benefit from it?
Yeah, that game felt great. It felt good, not even just because they're a higher, better team, but it just felt good to play together, and that was one of my first games back from injury, so it felt really good to play in that game.
Yeah, we had, so, part of that, we're at full strength now. That's the great news, right? We have Emma is back, Andorra is back. Aaliyah, you were out for a little bit as well. Like, we were down to like 12 or 13 girls in a couple of those matches. And it's like, okay, hey, let's just, a tie is a good thing. It's not the end of the world. And of course you want to win. But at the same time, I think our team learned a lot having its star players out or having our best players out for a period of time. It's not anything anybody wants, but maybe some of those, other players got some more experience and got to, learn a little bit more about what it's going to take to win at that next level. Now that we've got everybody back, here we are. We're going to Elyria Catholic tonight. We've never played them, as I mentioned. I've never even been to the school. Do we know anything about them? We've compared scores, and it's hard to do that in any type of sports things. But what have coaches talked to you guys about in regards to this Elyria Catholic team that we're going to play tonight at 7 o'clock?
He just keeps telling us over and over again they're really aggressive, and
Okay.
apparently they're really mean too.
Oh, okay. Physical, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a physical game.
Yeah.
All right. We'll make sure we tell the refs that beforehand
Yeah.
and make sure they're watching a little bit. But so a physical team, does that? I don't know. I think we're a fast team. I think we've got some speed on the outside with Aaliyah and Emma. Playing up top. Haley's extremely fast in the back. She chases things down. Is that a bad thing that they're aggressive? Can we use it to our advantage a little bit? Maybe just outrun them?
I don't think it's a bad thing, especially when you have a physical team. There will be at least a few calls.
Yeah.
And we can score off those restarts if we go quickly and stuff like that. There's a lot of
Okay.
advantages of that.
Okay. Good.
So you get ready for this game, and when the game starts to get physical, how do you stay within your game? How do you not try to retaliate or get yourself and your team into a bad situation?
I think it's definitely hard. It's hard to stay with your own mind, but we just have to play our own game, not let them get to us or let them affect how we play.
In the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of defenders on Walk the Plank. They've talked about their special handshakes, the special bonds that they have. What do you guys have in the front court that you guys have that is just yours? Anything?
We have the same thing. We have
Okay.
handshakes.
We all just like run and jump on each
Yeah,
other.
it's a lot of fun.
All right, and guys, you can answer. We'll start with Aaliyah. We talked about your game-winning goal as a freshman, Aaliyah. How has your game grown from your freshman year through now your end of your junior season here?
I think I've definitely become like a lot more skilled with the ball, and I
Okay.
think like I've gotten more like aggressive and more communicative with my teammates and everything.
Okay, Andor, how about you?
Yeah, I also think I've grown into more of a leader, and I've definitely just improved all around in my game. Just playing year-round is helpful to just keep improving every day.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Winters?
I was just going to ask for you, Andorra, being someone that can score. Last year you were the leader in the New Herald area in assist. Again, this year you have some key assists. How has it been being that facilitator, getting the other girls involved, knowing that you have the ability to take over a game if you needed to?
I love it. I love being able to see everyone score, and it's exciting when like a freshman gets their first goal. Stuff like that makes me happy. So
I love having the assists, stuff like that.
And obviously, club soccer, how has that helped your game at the high school level? What can you bring or draw from what you do on the club scene to your game in the high school?
It's very helpful because for club I play a different position, stuff like that. We do a lot of goal setting, so I set my goals for the season and I've been working on them, and a big part of it was being a leader, and I think with high school I've gotten a great opportunity to be a big leader this year.
All right, girls. Well, best of luck tonight as we travel
you.
to Elyria Catholic. A long bus ride. We've got some Chick-fil-A coming for you after school. All right, we'll get a little team meal in before, so you make sure you're fed and you're good to go on that front. But before we let you out of here, let's get to know you just a little bit better. We'll start with Aaliyah on the outside and work our way over to Andorra. Aaliyah, what is your favorite food?
I think pizza.
Pizza? Do you have a favorite pizza place, or any pizza will do for you?
Giorgio's.
Giorgio's?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite subject in school?
English.
English. Oh, Mr. Stavar. All right, I see what you're doing. I'm kidding. Favorite movie or television show?
Vampire Diaries.
Okay, good. Any hobbies outside of whether it's soccer or anything here at Perry High School?
Track.
Doing track in the
Yep.
spring. Excellent. Will you do indoor track as well?
I don't know yet. I
Not
think
sure? Okay.
Probably.
All right. Favorite app or game on your phone?
TikTok.
Any favorite memory from Perry so far? You guys are both juniors. You know, you've got some time yet. We're not rushing you out the door here to graduate, but in about a year and a half, you're going to graduate from Perry. You're going to walk across that stage. What are some of your favorite memories you're going to take away from here when you do that?
Honestly, I feel like me scoring my freshman year was a really big memory.
Yeah, it's a huge one. Because it certainly doesn't happen very, very
Yeah.
often. So to have two in a career, certainly one as a freshman, very, very awesome. Visit any place in the world, Aaliyah, where you want to go.
Bahamas.
Bahamas. Excellent. All right, Andorra. right down the line here. Favorite food?
Probably yogurt.
Yogurt. Okay. Favorite subject in school?
History.
History. Okay. Favorite movie or television show or series?
Criminal Minds.
Okay. Hobby outside of soccer, basketball, anything else you do here at Perry?
I like reading.
Okay. Favorite app or game in your phone?
TikTok.
Yeah, okay. Favorite memory from Perry so far? Again, you've got a while before you graduate. What are some of your favorite memories so far from Perry?
I had a lot of fun on our little run in basketball last year.
That was awesome. That was love to duplicate that again. A district championship, sort of unheralded and not favored to do it, and we got it done. Hopefully, we can do the same thing tonight at Elyria Catholic. Visit any place in the world. Money's not an object. Where are you going?
Italy.
Italy. Okay. Awesome. Andorra, Aaliyah, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Congratulations on being our Athletes of the Week. Enjoy your Dairy Queen. And good luck tonight as we take on Elyria Catholic. I don't even know what their team mascot is, but go take care of Elyria Catholic tonight. If we do win, we play Saturday in the district final. That would be back-to-back years in the district final. We play at Padua High School. We've played there once already this year. So best of luck tonight, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Yes, it's just like cross country, sort of ditto here with soccer. We're right at the end of the season. We're peaking at the right time. We're healthy at the right time. We've got everybody back, and we're ready to go. We're locked and loaded, and we'll see what happens tonight against a very skilled and apparently very physical and aggressive Elyria Catholic squad.
Right, and you mentioned it, win and you advance, so you'd either play McKinley, who the Pirates just played a couple weeks ago, or Ravenna Southeast. So in that district match coming up on Saturday.
Yep, and well, one game at a time. But I would love another shot at Niles McKinley. We played them very tight. Just a few weeks ago, and it was really a 1-0 match. We let a goal in that should have never been let in, and the goalie knows that. So that's not a secret. So we would love another shot, and that's one of the reasons Coach Stavar and Coach Carino decided to hop into that bracket is the way we played that day down at Niles McKinley. We know we can compete with that team, and like I said, we'll see how we go tonight out at Elyria Catholic.
And two more girls things before we switch over to the guys soccer. Speaking of the goalie, Katie Rockwell will play in the CVC All-Star game. And then also I saw Miss Allen tweeted out that the middle school girls finish off their third straight undefeated season.
Third straight undefeated season. We've got several freshmen that are contributing and starting for us on this team tonight as we travel to Elyria Catholic. So a district semifinal match, and we have 3 or 4 freshmen playing significant time for us. And so that feeder program is doing its job down at the middle school. Third year in a row, they haven't lost a match. We crushed Berkshire in the CVC championship match 5-0. We've got a little budding rivalry here with the Berkshire Badgers in regards to ladies soccer. We tied them this year. You mentioned that talking to the girls, and that was sort of unexpected. We played really well that night, and they have a very strong program. They're playing tonight in the district semis, and they expect to win in advance. So, yeah, congratulations to our middle school program there for yet another undefeated run in CVC championship.
And last week you had the back-to-back with Beechwood with the girls and the boys team. Unfortunately, the boys team came up a little short and their season came to an end.
Yeah, it did, but I'll tell you what, I give our boys team a ton of credit. They come out and they played a fantastic first half against Beechwood. They did the same thing against Madison the week before, and it's just hard against really, really good teams. Both Madison and even more so Beechwood on the boys' side are going to make long runs in this postseason tournament. There's just no doubt about it. And it's hard to play consistently for 80 minutes against really, really, really strong competition. So Coach Tanish and the team did a great job out at Beechwood. And like you said, just came up a little bit short. But we know that Beechwood team is very strong and going to make that run. So, but that'll put a sort of a bow on the season for the boys soccer team. We've talked cross country a little bit and volleyball. Volleyball won a district semifinal match last night at home. We played VASJ and beat them 3-0, 25-9, 25-17, 25-20. So they got a little closer with each match, each set, but took out the Vikings 3-0. We advanced to the district finals. We will play at Woodridge High School against Hubbard this Wednesday. So Wednesday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. out at Woodridge. So congrats to Coach Raga and his staff and to our players and our families for making it to the district final. That district semifinal match was sort of our stumbling block last year, and that's the one thing that he and the coaches and the players all talked about as they approached the offseason and how we're going to get better and how we're going to improve. And the goal is to always do better than falling and getting past that district semi match. We were able to do that, and now we're playing in district final. But at the same time, now that we're here, might as well keep winning and see how long of a fun run we can have here in volleyball.
And I'm not sure what message was sent at the beginning of the year, but whatever it was has been accepted by the girls. As we've talked about each week, it seems like every time I look at the scores, it's 3-0, 3-1. Like I don't want to say they haven't been challenged yet because they have, but each score indicates that they've been pretty dominant this season.
Yeah, and we're 18-6 right now, and as a reminder, we started out 0-3.
Yep.
So we are 18-3 in our last 21 matches, and we played in that Hudson tournament with a purpose in mind, and we knew we might take 3 losses that day, but we played Walsh Jesuit, Riverside, and Hudson, all who are still alive in their respective divisions in OHSA postseason tournaments. And we knew it was going to make us better, and I think it did. And the girls didn't take it in a negative way that we started 0-3. We don't really care about the regular season record. It's really about, number one, about competing and winning CVC championships, and then again setting yourself up for success in the postseason and seeing how long of a run you can have. And so that has paid dividends. There's no doubt about it in my mind. And here we are. We'll take on the Hubbard Eagles here Wednesday at 7 p.m. with a trip to regionals on the line. If we do win that match, we would play the following Wednesday, the 29th, down at Alliance High School. So exciting time for our volleyball team. And I watched all 3. Usually we've got soccer going on or football or freshman football or something going on. And I'm in and out, and I got to sit there and watch all 3 matches last night. We're pretty darn talented, and we've got some athletes on that team that can jump out of the gym. I think we're very technically sound. Kendra Conrad had just earned her 1,000th assist, which is, I would equate it to like a 1,000 points in basketball. It just doesn't happen all that often, and you have to have longevity. She's played on this team since she's been a freshman, and she sets the ball well for us. We our serving is very strong. We're going to have Coach Rag on next week, whether we win or lose tomorrow. He'll sort of wrap up the season, and hopefully he's given a preview to that regional semifinal match and talking about a district championship. But we'll have him on next week and get a little bit more in depth with our volleyball. But I'm very impressed with where we're at right now.
And you mentioned Kendra, along with Tatum Christian, will
Yes.
both represent the Pirates in the CVC All-Star Game. So again, a lot of great things going on for the volleyball program,
Yes.
and their big game coming up tomorrow, tomorrow night,
yep.
being Wednesday. Another big game coming up on Friday involves the football team. Let's start last week. A big win again against West Geauga there.
Yeah, give our kids a ton of credit. The way they came out, we were up 28-0 at half and dominated both lines of scrimmage. Moved the ball sort of at will, scored 28 points against a very much improved West Geauga team. And we weren't sure what was going to happen in the second half. I think we probably took the foot off the gas a little bit. Whether you really actually, no one plans on that happening, but West Geauga certainly came out and played an excellent third quarter, and it was 28-14 at the end of the third quarter, and that's not exactly what we were anticipating. So it was a great challenge for our team, and they responded in the fourth quarter, put another touchdown on there. So it ended up being 35-21. West Geauga scored with about a minute to go in the game, sort of a meaningless score, but that's the final, 35-21. And, we knew we had to win that game in order to set up this game that we're playing on Friday, which is a CVC championship game. It's a winner-take-all. Perry, we're 7-2. Hawken is 8-1. We're both undefeated in CVC play in the Chagrin division. So whoever wins this game is going to get to raise that banner for a CVC championship. And then ultimately for us, if anybody follows, whether it's Joe Itel or Drew Pasteur, knows that if we win, we will most likely be the number 1 seed in our region for playoffs. If we lose, we will be the 5 seed. So big jump, and that's because Hawken has so many points out there as an 8-1 football team. So it's a big difference for us. I can't remember the last time we've had something that significantly different in terms of, all right, if you win, you're the number 1. If you lose, you're the number 5. I mean, because really no longer at number 5 do you get a bye.
Right.
The top 4 teams get a bye. So one of the questions, I think I said it last week, that we've been getting, are we going to have trick or treat on Halloween? And are we going to play a football game on Halloween? And the answer is, I don't know yet. We'll know Friday night, and I know we're going to get our information out there as fast as we can. And people say, well, why would you postpone trick or treat? And it's just for football. It's not about that. It's really the safety of our trick or treaters. From 6 to 8 p.m. is when trick or treat is, and between 6 and 7 p.m. is when we're going to have cars and buses and craziness here all over the streets of Perry, or at least around the high school. So we'll know by Friday evening what we're doing, and if we get a win, we'll have a bye, and we will play a home game on November 7th. So that's sort of what's staring our football team in the eyes this week is a big-time football game, and it's why you play. It's why you practice. It's why you lift weights 350 days out of the year, whatever it is that they're doing, and it's really about games like this.
And then I noticed that, again, the Perry and Hawken both up for the Fox 8 Game of the Week.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, get out there and vote. I think it ends either tomorrow or Thursday. So, obviously it'll be extended coverage on Fox 8. Again, it was for the Kirtland game earlier.
Yeah.
You probably won't have to get here at 6 if you win that
Right,
again.
that's true.
It's an away game, but
Yeah, right.
get out there and make sure you vote for that. And again, with Hawken coming in at 8-1, their only loss was an overtime loss by 1 point.
Yep.
So what challenges, what does Hawken bring? Because if I'm remembering right, this is kind of a similar meeting last year. They only had 1 or 2 losses at the end of the year when
they
the
did.
teams met.
And they've beat Geneva by again. They've had a lot of high scoring games. They beat Geneva by 1 or 2 points, if I'm not mistaken. It was a very high scoring game. Obviously, we went to overtime with Geneva. So, I mean, the challenge is there, and it's real. They have some great skill players on the offensive side of their ball. Their quarterback is a Division I recruit. The receiver is right there. He's a big guy. Their running backs very skilled, very talented. So those 3 or 4 on offense have led them to score some prolific numbers of points this year. And I think if there is a weakness on the team of Hawken, it's probably defensively. They've given up. They've been outscoring people to win their 8 games. So you see a lot of their games in the 40s. So I know Coach Niedzwiecki is not going to want any part of 40s in terms of defense. But hopefully we can get there on the offensive side of the ball and put some points on the board and control their weapons on offense as well. Like I said, their quarterback is a stud. His dad is the head coach at Akron. So obviously comes from a great football family and so on. So, yeah, it's going to be a challenge for our team on Friday. It's going to be hopefully a great atmosphere. We always seem to travel well. So my message to our student section and all of the Perry community is go out. If you want to see a big-time football game on Friday night, head out to County Line Road right there at Hawkins School, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
And obviously you've been at and watched all these football games, talking with the coaches each and every week. When Coach Guesowich was on with us, I think it was around week 5 or leading into conference play, he talked about wanting to get the run game going. Have you, in the games you've watched, is that going in the right direction? Is this team starting to find its groove a little bit?
Yeah, I do think so. It's one of those things. Carter Hopkins obviously missed the first 3 games, but we had, Brody Petroselli has done a fantastic job filling in for Carter, and then they're sort of a 2-headed monster now where they can go back and forth between the 2 of them. And I think any good, whether it's high school, college, or NFL team, you have to be able to run the ball to establish that, and then you can work your pass game off of that. So I kudos to our offensive line. I think they're giving us some places to run, and our running backs are hitting the holes where they need to, and it's helped setting up our pass game. And Nate and our receivers, when we've talked to Jimmy, we've talked to Justin as players of the week, like they're clicking on all cylinders right now. So I like our chances on Friday, and we'll see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may, and it'll be a fun game.
And so again, the easiest way to figure this all out, just win. You finish in the top 4.
Yep.
And you get that first round bye that most teams would love to have at this time.
Yeah, I think so. It'll help us just heal up a little bit, the bumps and bruises of a long season. We had a brutal 5-game schedule to start the season off. And so, yeah, it'll certainly be a helpful thing to get a bye. And we'll have Coach Guesowich on here in the coming weeks, and he'll talk to us a little bit about, I'm interested to see what we'll do from a practice standpoint and how we attack it and how others are attacking it, because it is new.
Sure.
We haven't had it since 2020. The COVID year, we scaled down the number of playoff teams as well, and we had a bye that year. So we'll see where it goes, but looking forward to it on Friday.
Yeah, should be another exciting one. So make sure you get out. Make sure you vote for the Fox 8 game of the week, but also get out there, and it be easily the best matchup this weekend in Northeast Ohio.
Right, and somebody that will be there on Friday, and then they're going to pull double duty this weekend, or triple duty, because we hopefully will have a JV game on Saturday, is our cheerleading program, and I will welcome up at this point is our head coach for Perry Cheer Program, Emily Bowman. Emily, thank you for being here. You're welcome. Appreciate it. We've got an exciting week here. So not only we're just talking about the Hawken football game on Friday. Our cheerleaders will be front and center, just like they always are, in front of our home stands. We don't have a JV game yet. Hawken notified us that we're not going to have a JV game, at least with them, but we are looking. So hopefully that'll be at home, and that'll be our last JV event of the year. But then we wanted to talk to you as well about Sunday, the 26th of October. We are hosting the Chagrin Valley Conference Cheer Showcase, and that is an annual event that's put on by the CVC. It rotates locations. Different schools host it each and every year, but it's a great event, and this year we are proud to host it at noon on Sunday. So let's talk a little bit about that first, I guess, and how many teams do we have coming. And when I first texted you or called you about hosting, you were all in right off the bat and said, yes, we want to host, let's do it. And we just hit the ground running from there.
Yeah, so we have 18 schools
Okay.
total from CVC.
Okay.
So us and then 17 others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And each program will have a period of time to do. We're going to cheer. We're going to stunt. They're going to dance. What is all involved in their period of time, and how long does each team get?
Sure. So they have 3 to 5 minutes each
Okay.
squad, and they can, in those 3 to 5 minutes, do whatever they'd like. We've encouraged them to bring mascots with them this year, so
Okay.
hopefully our pirate will be able to join us.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Should have silenced that. And then in their 3 to 5 minutes, they can stunt, they can cheer, they can dance, just show off all the hard work that they've been putting in all season.
And do you do different routines for that? Like, are you planning different things, or do you kind of pick and choose your best from the cheer season and
Yeah,
you know,
so
perform that?
for us, the girls spend 24 hours over the summer with camp. The University of Pittsburgh cheerleaders come in, and we do 3 8-hour days with them. It's a long, grueling days, so they learn a lot of material there. So they've kind of picked their favorites from camp that they're going to put all together.
And so, your first year as our head coach here, how has the year gone for you? We're approaching week 10 here of the football season. Obviously, the cheer showcase is coming up. Wasn't necessarily we were something planning to do. It all came together about a month ago. How has the first season been for you as our head coach?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's beginner's luck,
Yeah.
but it's been a great season. I
Knock on
couldn't
wood,
have
right?
asked
Yeah.
for
great.
a better group of girls. We've got 14 varsity cheerleaders, and then we have 9 cheering JV this year, and it just has been an exceptional group of athletes this year.
And when you took over the program, did you have, I don't know, a goal in mind or something in your mind of like, this is how I think my cheer team's going to be? And then you find your 14 girls and it totally you have to throw away that plan and start over?
No, I think that there was a great program here. I worked with Shannon Horsfall, who was the coach before me, so it was just how to maintain what she has built, but give a little more. There's a division between JV and varsity, right? So just like how do you build that and kind of get all of the girls to work together and be one? So that's really been the focus this year, and the seniors have made that really easy.
Yeah, let's talk about your seniors. Just like in any of our sports, and I've said this from the start of my time here. We consider, and now if you're watching our cheerleaders on Friday night stunt and jump all over the place, and they are athletes. We treat them as athletes. These coaches treat them as athletes. This isn't the 1980s or 90s
Sure.
cheer squad. They are truly athletes. They work hard at their craft. So just like any other sport, our seniors are monumentally important to our program. Let's talk just about the group of seniors that we have and how they've sort of led this squad this year in your first year.
Yeah, I think it's always a challenge because it's a big age gap there
Yeah.
between your freshmen and your seniors.
Yeah.
And just when you kind of put that all together, but just, when they come in and learning all of the material and just being leaders and just being great mentors, and they lead with positivity, so it just makes everybody else positive.
And as Mr. Rockwell alluded to, being athletes, and that's what the cheerleaders are, how important is dance? How important are some of these outside activities that the girls do, gymnastics that help help them form into the cheerleading?
Yeah, so we do talk about that a lot, because when you're playing football or basketball, like when you're in season, that's your season.
Right.
And when you're cheering, these girls are also outside doing gymnastics, and they're dancing, and they're competitive cheerleaders. So their seasons never stop. So this year we've learned to be a little flexible with those schedules, because like all of those things that they do make them better athletes here.
And then, are all of our teams, have they notified you? Like, we have 18 teams coming here on Sunday, as you mentioned. Are all of them stunting nowadays? Are we still one of the few schools that stunt? And what goes into, how did we get to this point? Because we've been, 2 or 3 years?
3 years.
3 years now that
Yeah.
we've been stunting. So how did we progress to that? And then how many other teams in the area are stunting currently?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many other teams are stunting. I know
Okay.
there are still a lot of schools that are ground bound, so
Yeah.
we will see schools that won't stunt at all
Okay.
on Sunday.
Right.
For us, I think 3 years ago it started very basic. We were doing basic preps and just, little stuff. And over the years, as the girls have grown their skills, and we've also worked hard, the camp instructors work with them when they come in. They've really been able to put up some pretty cool pyramids this year.
And how do you determine what stunts the girls are going to do? Do they come to you and say, hey, these are my strengths? Obviously, you watching them know what they're good or bad at. So how do you formulate that plan?
Yeah, so just we put people with the strengths in their strengths and just kind of play on that. And it has been, they've all got different names for their stunt group. So we've got the OGs, they've been together for 3 seasons. We've got the Misfits, they're like the group that kind of like moves around a little bit. And then we've got the Underdogs, so, and that's like the younger girls. So they've kind of given themselves all names, and then we like put them, where they need to be based on that.
Yeah. And then earlier this year, we have our annual youth night for football. So, you see 100 or so little girls out there, grades K to 12. Let's talk a little bit about, not to get past football, but we'll have another youth opportunity for our cheer people interested in cheer. We'll do a little clinic / camp for a day or so, and then they get to come out and cheer for a game of basketball. Let's talk a little bit about that event. I know it's going to be in January.
Yeah, the high school girls work hard. They put together the material for them. It's a cheer and a dance. The girls come in. It's a Sunday afternoon, spend 3 hours with us. We have a lot of restroom breaks in those 3 hours, but they get to learn their dance, and they get to learn the cheer, and then they get to spend time with the varsity girls at the basketball game. I think January 17th is our selected day for that. So.
Saturday against Madison. So good.
And then as your week goes, we talked with Marissa a couple of weeks ago when she was on, but your week as a coach, take us through Monday. What are we doing Monday to get us to Friday on a typical football game?
Well, it never ends. That's one thing that I have learned since being in this position, is that it is 24/7. It goes all summer. We start on Monday thinking about formations and stunts, and we have practice on Tuesday. We have a down day on Wednesday. Thursday we have practice again. They make the signs for the student section or for the school or whatever needs to be done. And then, Friday they do their team dinner before we head to the game.
And how much are you looking ahead weather-wise? Do your routines change if we have wind or rain or potentially snow coming?
Yeah, they do. So if it is raining or there is winter weather, we don't stunt and we don't jump and no tumbling. So watching the weather. Also, we want to make sure they're warm. Cheer uniforms aren't always the warmest. So I think last year we had a lot of rain. So we've been fortunate this year to kind of avoid the rain.
It's been a great fall so far.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Bowman, let's just recap. Sunday, Friday night we'll be cheering. Hopefully Saturday we'll find a JV game. Sunday, the 26th, doors open at 11 a.m. here at Perry High School. What time do our Perry cheerleaders take the floor?
They will take the floor between 12 and 12:15. They're the first number out.
So we are the first ones there. So if you want to come, if you just want to support the girls, we'd encourage you to stay for the entire time. We'll be here for at least 2 or 3 hours on Sunday. We'll have a concession stand open and everything like that. So a normal sporting event here on Sunday. But if you want to see just the Perry cheerleaders, come right at noon. We're going to kick things off on Sunday. Coach Bowman, thanks for all of your work throughout the season. Thanks for agreeing to take on the CVC event here. We're excited for Sunday. Congratulations on a great year, and we'll see you soon.
And just to mention, it's free for students on Sundays if you have your spirit wear on.
Let's go. Let's talk about that for a second. It's $5 for adults, so it's not even a full price event. But then it is free for kids. You just have to have your Perry shirt on, literally anything red. Pretty much we'll let you in for free. We'd love to have a big student section here for our cheerleaders to support them on Sunday. So good word. We'll get that out. All right, Coach Bowman from our Perry cheer program.
Yeah, so another exciting event to add to what we have coming on this week between volleyball and soccer tonight and football, and then of course ending with cheer. So there's a cross country on Saturday. So it seems like every day the rest of this week there's something going on here at Perry.
Absolutely exciting time of year, and we'll that'll put a sort of a bow on it here for this week, week 9 of Walk the Plank. We'll be back and better than ever for week 10, and hopefully have some good news with some of our results for the rest of this week. But until then, go Pirates.